Good morning, all. Welcome to today's national webinar on intellectual property rights. Today with us we have our Dean, Dr. Hemant Mehta, sir, Dr. Senthil, and one more resource person will be joining with us, Dr. B.B. Adkoli, sir. So first of all, I would like to request our Dean, sir, to bless us to start this webinar. Mehta, sir, request you to bless us with your blessings.
Thank you, Dr. Chinmay. Am I audible and clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, it will be good if.
Good morning, friends. At the outset, I welcome and thanks today's lauded speaker, Dr. M. Senthil, who is the president of Innovation Cafe Institute Innovation Council at Sri Balaji Vidyapith, Puducherry, and also Dr. B.V. Adkoli, Director, Center of Health Professional Education, again at Sri Balaji Vidyapith, Puducherry. I also welcome all delegates who have joined from different quarters of country. I thank Dr. Chinmay Shah, MAU coordinator at our institute, for organizing this webinar on IPR. Friends, we all know that we have a lot to do as far as the research activities concerned in our country. Of course, slowly this kind of activity is gaining momentum. But at the same time, in this scenario, we need to understand certain topics of process of patenting, trademarking, copyright, and much more. We have two learned speakers today who will introduce these topics to us. Of course, the time allotted to them is very less, so at least it will satisfy our hunger to understand this topic. We know that this much time is not sufficient to address this topic thoroughly, but as we have discussed with this learned speakers, whenever the circumstances permits us, we will organize offline seminar on this topic at our institute. So with this, my best wishes for all of you, and thank you again to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your kind word and your blessings. So before we start, I would like to introduce our speakers. So I would like to introduce our first speaker, Dr. M. Senthil. He is a professor and team leader, public health dentistry, Indira Gandhi Institute of Dental Science, Sri Balaji Vidyapith University, Puducherry. He is also the president of Innovation Cafe, Institute Innovation Council, SBV, Mission for Intellectual Property and Technology Transfer. He is also a project coordinator for SBV MGM Bio Incubator at Sri Balaji Vidyapith. Also honorary secretary for Indian Dental Association Puducherry and Health and Intellectual Property Right Academy. Sir has also received a letter of appreciation from Prime Minister. He is also working as a consultant for National Oral Health Policy Development to Ministry of Health, Government of India. Sir is also appointed as a task force member to develop an operational guideline for basic oral health package in primary healthcare by Ministry of Health, Government of India. Sir has a lot many publications to his credit. Sir is a chairman of IPR Cell SBV. He has delivered many guest lectures and interviews in different social media and channels. Has 7 innovations and 8 best practices to his credit, and played a key role for collaborating and development with the University of IWA for a student exchange program. Sir is also an IEC member for Ultra Based Dental College and CSI Dental College, Madurai. With this, I request now Senthil sir to start the session and enlighten us with the knowledge regarding IPR.
Okay, fine. Thanks to the Dean and Chinmay for inviting me to this wonderful webinar on IPR. So I've been working in this field for last 5 years, and thanks for the opportunity to share my expertise and knowledge or my experience, whatsoever it may be, to the Augustus audience. So thanks for creating a platform. I'm very much honored to deliver this particular topic. So next half an hour to 45 minutes or so, we will have 2 sessions. So first session will be on how to kickstart innovations at your own places. So that will be there for 20-25 minutes. Then we will go to another presentation on roadmap to IPR. So there will be a third session, particularly on copyright, that will be dealt by other resource person, Dr. B.V. Akkoli sir, who has given me this opportunity and who has guided me in this process as well. So thanks to sir and thanks to everybody. Let me put the slide on my presentation mode. Dr. Chinmay, if anything is going wrong, kindly let me know. So now, am I audible and my slides are presentable?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Vanakkam. This presentation comes to you from Pondicherry. Give time a break. So, already Chinmay has given me a good introduction. So I felt many a times when I hit the bed, still more to go. So life is a journey and we may have to learn many things. So still a lot of miles to go. So I've been doing this work for many years. So that is why the university has made me as a president of Innovation Cafe and a project coordinator for incubator that is not about startups. So there are many things that Government of India has started in the last 5 years. So the first 20-25 minutes is going to be on kickstarting of innovation. So I would like to put a disclaimer here, like the concepts what I'm going to talk in next 20-25 minutes, few will agree, few will not agree. Purely these concepts are my experiences and my view of dealing things. So how best I can able to achieve these innovations in my life so far. So it is purely my experiences. Few the reality will be there. I might be talking something about what is happening, what is happening around us, and all these things. So 50% is my experience and 50% is the reality surrounded. So I put a disclaimer with quote and unquote. Few might agree with this concept, few might not. Those who have not agreed, kindly go home and think. Those who have agreed, kindly start practicing it. With this introductory note, let me have a content. So the content will be why to do an innovation. First thing is we should question ourselves, why IPR? Because many a time people think when it comes for IPR is purely depends on innovations and critical thinking, and so we should answer ourselves why we have to do. And in this question, if everybody thinks it is for academical growth, I will definitely say no. It is for a different platform. Academical growth is as an individual one, but there are many things behind this IPR is there. So let me tell what is happening, why we should. So kindly go home, check all these facts. It is available around you. So that's going to be on why to do an innovation. Then next is called how to start innovations. So once you are convinced that, okay, fine, innovations is going to be the mantra for the next 5 years, 10 years, or 20 years, whatever it might be. So then you can decide how to start. So there are some points in this how to start only. I'm going to share my experience. But why to do innovations? It's purely facts which has been surrounding us. And probably I will tell this IPR, many people when they come for discussion, they tell it is a new field. I will definitely tell it is not a new field. IPR is there for decades or centuries old concept, but most of the academicians and most of the Indians, we have been kept under dark. What is IPR on? So now only now the era has started to strengthen all these things. Probably I might quote, we are a very young independent country because we are only 70 years old country. So after independence, many things we have been facing and we have been streamlining. So now time has come to streamline IPR as well. With this small introductory note, why to do innovations, Dr. Chinmay, is the audience can reply anything or they will all be muted? Only on the plenary they will be unmuted. It goes like that. How is it?
Yeah, they can also reply. I can unmute them. So I request the audience to raise their hand, or you can reply in the chat box.
Okay, thank you very much. So because I thought let me have some mild discussion on our places, so kindly help me out, because otherwise it will be a monotonous talking. So I don't want to go for a monotonous talking. So let me ask why to do innovations. Anybody raises a question, they can answer a reply. I will expect one reply. So anybody can raise hands. The moderator can unmute them. Why to do innovation?
So you can write in the chat box or just raise your hand. I will unmute you. Okay, so we have already few hand raised.
So you can unmute one person so that they can also say.
Yes, Dr. Seema, you are self unmuted. Unmute yourself and you can speak up now. Same way, Dr. Jaimala Bai and Dr. Anuradha Sharma. I have unmuted you. Now you can unmute yourself.
And kindly tell why to do innovations. So your thought process you can tell, then probably I can take a clues from there and I can talk to the audience.
Yeah, one reply is from Dr. Swapnil Parlikar for progress and survival of humanity.
Progress and survival of the humanity. Great, sir. Nice one. So let me tell. So the progress and survival of the humanity,
Yes,
we may have to.
sir, just a second. Dr. Jaimila, please speak up. You are unmuted now.
Am I audible too? Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes. To achieve perfection, sir. Achieve perfection. Then only we can achieve perfection by doing the innovations.
Okay, achieve perfection. So we may have to see. We are, every day is a learning process. So we may have to do an innovation. Okay. Here
Sir,
it is about. Sir?
Other few replies are: all things can be outdated. Innovation can bring things to present status. By Dr. Yogesh Narkar, and Dr. Seema Bakshi said solution for new problems.
Solution for new problem. Okay, fine. These are all about individual thinking. So now let me slightly focus on when it comes to innovations, we may have to think where as a country we stand as well. So right now I will tell you, first thing is to become a developed country. If at all you think we have to become a developed country, we might require a lot of innovations, because then only the country will grow. Because how long we will be telling it's a developing country? Because developed country means that is where the government of India has started called Self-Reliant India Mission, CSR, Atmanirbhar Bharat. So all these things for innovative thinkers, because we need to have new solutions, new products, new thinking, so which will capture the entire world. And to become a developed country, definitely innovations is the solution. That is why government of India is going on talking about innovate, do new things. So that is where all these ecosystems have come. So next question will be the profile of the country. So you know what is the profile of each country? So what is the profile of India? Anybody in the chat box can reply. What is profile of India? As we say, India. Anything in the chat box, sir?
Not yet, sir. Waiting just.
Okay.
Yes, one thing came. Okay. Change in continuity is necessary in any field, so innovation is required to keep. Okay, this was the answer to previous question by Dr. Anuradha, and to answer to present question by Dr. Swapnil said middle income. Middle income. Okay, fine. Actually, we are called as a secular country, diversified population, all these things. But if you see the economical profile of the country, India is basically called as a service country, service-related country. We take some jobs from other countries and deliver it. But when we are a service-related country, we cannot become a developed country, because always other countries will try to put us down. So this is where the government was thinking, and they want to change the whole profile. I'll give you a simple example. If you take Japan as a country, their profile is electronics. They do a lot of innovations in electronics. So they do a lot of inventions in electronics. So the whole world is looking for Japan's technology. If you take Germany, they are very good in automobile technology, industries, manufacturing machineries. So whole world is looking for some automobile or solution. If you take US, predominantly they are into IT giants, Facebook, Google, Yahoo, everything. So they are into the latest technology. So every country has a profile, but we have a profile called service related country, where we get jobs from other country and deliver it. But what happens in this process, no other country will let us grow. So if at all we want to become a developed country, the whole country, at least the country should have 3 or 4 good products. So recently, when the vice president was also talking, India is an agriculture country. Why not a lot of innovations on agriculture, and which is a predominant related to health also. So we can also help them in innovating a lot of products on health related agricultural products. So which will give you a lot of innovation, because predominantly our country is an agricultural country also. So we can give the agricultural technology to the whole world. And today, if you take China has a good profile of manufacturing anything. So they become the whole world's suppliers.
So we may have to think at this point of time. And I have another few more things. So this was the campaign started by the present government in August 15, 2015. It's called Startup India, Stand Up India. They want to bring in a lot of startups, new thinkings, new companies. So that is when they have started all the technical institutes, all the higher education institutes should have a startup cell. Startup cell is simply but any innovations which comes into patent, copyright or anything will eventually has to come into the market. So right now this is the answer. Any academical institute, this is a higher education institute, we need to make people think. We need to make students think. So they will come out with cranky ideas which can be shaped up into a good product or a process which can be brought into a company, and startup cell, the ecosystem is there. One example I can give you today, if you see infrared thermometers, go home, take the infrared thermometer and see where it is manufactured. I can assure you out of 5, 3 will be manufactured in China, and mostly it is all manufactured in a university campus, in an educational campus as a startup. So nobody 3-4 years before were knowing about this infrared thermometers, but it was available. So simple logic innovations, today's nonsense is tomorrow's sense. So this is where we stand, and to achieve this, Government of India has started lot many things. One is called Atmanirbhar Bharat, that is called Self-Reliant India Mission. So to focus on this, that is why the Indian government presently, they were so keen on launching the Indian origin vaccine, that is called Covaxin and Covishield, which both are manufactured in India and which is an Indian product. So this mission also, so now you can see how far the government is working towards this. So as a basic citizen of India, we need to work towards this. So when it comes to IPR, kindly have at least 10% of patriotism, or for the people, for the country, somewhere 10% of this patriotism is there, which can definitely help people to grow. And as people grows, definitely the country grows. As a country grows, we will also be in a better place as a developed country. So next is called be vocal on local products. So this is one major thing we may have to think. A lot of new products the Government of India wants to promote, and we should be supporting our local buyers and the local needs, because today the predominant ecosystem or culture, or even everybody thinks if it is a foreign product, that its standards are good, but it's not like that. How long we have been telling like this? So Indian products are very good. Be local for vocal for local products. I'll give you a simple example. Today everybody uses Samsung phones. If Samsung phone was rejected by Korean people, Samsung would have not stepped into India. So this is how it happens. If Facebook was not promoted by US people, by his own people, today they would have not come to India. So for us to go to other countries or to grow, we should be vocal on local products. So once you start with innovations, there are a lot of local products will come. So we should have a mindset, we need to promote our own fellow Indians. So next is Make for the World. This is another campaign the Government of India has started, that's called Make for the World. So develop new products, and definitely the ecosystems are getting in set. So make for the world. So we need to start manufacturing and sending it. So today, if you think everybody are in a healthcare sector, go home and think how many products are made in India, and the product developers are Indians, or the owners are Indians, where the money is revolving inside India. See, simple logic why Government of India wants to start this IPR is the innovator should be an Indian, the developer should be an Indian, the buyer should be an Indian. So because of this, our economy, lot of stability will be there. Just go home and think, starting from your shoes to hair dye, 80% of the products are coming out of India. So for say today you spend 100 rupees, 60 to 70 rupees go out of the country. So because of this, lot of economical instability is happening. So to cut this curve, innovations is a solution, because everywhere there will be a lot of innovation, new products will come. If new buyers have, new manufacturers have come, so the people will, we need to buy it so that the money revolves inside the country. This is one more, and presently, knowingly or willingly or unwillingly, we may have to adopt this educational policy at least till 2024. And the present education policy talks about mainly on innovation. One simple rule they have given is, for say a second year student thinks of a new medical product or a new medical process, he can take a 1-year break and go and try out this new idea in the industry or in the market. If he succeed, he can come back. If he fails also, he can come back with taking a 1-year break and come back and continue his education. This educational policy is almost relating to most of the developed countries. So if India wants to become a developed country, it is purely because of our educational policy, because we need to develop young brains and we need to make them think. So rather than make them think for Westerners, we need to make them think for Indians. So these are some of the basic aspects. Some of the geopolitical issues I'm going to talk right now is these are the basic measures that Government of India has taken. Some of the geopolitical issues are like we have been made as a better consumers to the world. So the whole world is coming and dumping a lot of products to us. And we have been telling Chinese products are not good, not good, not good. But now you see, without Chinese products, our life will not move on. So how long we can tell? But it's a different ball game. We may have to think now. At least if we think and if we start changing in another 10 years or so, we will be in a better place. Otherwise, now Chinese currency has become most powerful currency other than dollars, yens, and euro. Chinese currency is one of the powerful countries. Recently, in the last decades, they have achieved this. And purely because of their manufacturing capacities, innovative thinking, and everything. So right now we will be competing. China exports everything. They have exported this present. This COVID has made me think many things. And go home and think. China has exported the disease, and they are exporting solutions today. Starting from infrared thermometer, pulse oximeters, even the raw material for masks. Everything comes from there. And the problem also comes from there. So kindly go home and think, and we are only competing with China in terms of population. So probably in another decade or so, we will be crossing China. The major strength of China is their people. So here also many thinkers are there, innovative thinkers are there. So if they are given enough opportunities, so we will be definitely better than other countries in the day or so. So these are some basic aspects. I've already told what is happening around us, what Government of India is doing, and where as a country we stand. So innovations is not only for individual, it is for the growth of the entire nation as well. So with this introductory note, why to do innovations, let me go how to start innovations. Can I stop for a minute, Chinmay, or can I continue?
You can continue, no problem.
Okay,
Yeah,
fine. Let me finish in next 10-15 minutes. Any questions are there? You can put it in the chat box. So after this session, 2 minutes, I can answer a question. So
yes,
I think,
sir, yes,
okay, fine. So how to start innovations? So when you think of innovations, see, many people think when I'm a lecturer, my professor is not allowing me. When I'm a professor, my dean is not allowing me. When I'm a dean, my vice chancellor is not allowing me. When vice chancellor, he will tell the government is not allowing me. But it is not like that. Innovations can start anywhere, at your home, at your workplace, at your classroom, at your clinics. Everywhere you can give some scope, either for yourself or to others. Being teachers, either you should be innovative, or you can at least allow others to innovate by setting a lot of ecosystems at your place. So I'm going to tell some of the things what you can do today, and I'm not going to talk much, around 10 to 15 minutes. I'll just give you some brief ideas. So to start innovations, these are the 6 key aspects. Create a good platform, include everybody, and set a good ecosystem. And a lot of driving forces are there, and how things can happen. That's called discourse. So let me see one by one. I might spend 2 minutes each on each aspects. So coming into platform, provide a broader platform for innovations and innovators. How it happens, the basic thing I would like to discuss only is the mindset. So the mindset is the biggest thing, because many times when it comes to many times the inventors come, they will tell, I have a very small new thinking, sir, but a lot of my friends are telling it will never work out. It might be small or big. Innovation is an innovation. So we may have to encourage, because the small things will become great things tomorrow. If you say about pulse oximeter and infrared thermometers, that's an example. So mindset. So predominantly we are in an egoistic environment. So kindly my request to the Augustus audience is, come from your egoistic mindset to start a mindset called win-win-win situation. It is called I should win, you should win, everybody should win. Simple logic. When Dr. Chinmay contacted me, I overwhelmingly, it's what a short notice, by I said, we will definitely help, sir, because this is a knowledge everyone has to know. So in this whole lot of organizing things, Chinmay has been in his own IPR, MEU. I have been because I'm sharing my experiences. And now I've got a contact of the dean of the particular college, and he's already extended an invitation for a workshop. So here, if I come there, I win, and your place also win. It's called a win-win-win situation. So it also has to happen to your students. So you should win, your students should win, or the system should win, and everybody has to win. So kindly come into the mindset called win-win-win. I don't want to talk about other things like friendly and team leader. So simple logic, if you think Western countries, so I don't know, here deans are there, other higher administrators are there. In the US, none of the departments are HODs, head of the department, there is a tag called head of the department. So the leader of the department is either called as a team leader or the department chair. So that change in nomenclature itself will bring a friendly and a team leader attitude, so where that the situation will become win-win-win. So organizational and institutional changes has to happen. So if any of the administrators are listening to this, they can go home and think whether how the Western countries, the developed countries are having their educational systems. So if you see, go there and see, they normally call department heads as chair, and the chair will be rotating, and somebody sits on the chair, has to deliver the duty where he has to promote everybody. So that is what, and the research and development, all your innovations has to undergo research and development. So our focus from doing research has to change. Rather than taking some ingredients from a Western country, taking some processes from Western country and doing research here, we need to develop our own systems, own methodologies, own rating scales, or whatever it might be, and start a research in that. So innovations has to go through research, and it has to get proved. So predominantly our researchers are depending on Western countries, but it is time to think for our people and time to think for our scenario or our environment, what is best. So because many times what Westerners are giving might not be applicable for our own population. So that is where there is a lot of gap in science, what the country needs and what is happening in the reality. So we educators has to bridge this. So I will simply tell every PhD project should have a kind of an innovation, because PhD is postdoctorate is a search for new knowledge. So when you search for new knowledge, there should be an innovation, there should be a new rating scale, there should be a new questionnaire, there should be a something new which requires, and it can be time tested. So let me go to the next slide. So coming into inclusion, this is how it is. A lot of awareness needs to be created. The government of India is doing a lot of awareness. So right now we are witnessing, because of the government's push drive in everywhere, we are sitting here for an awareness program and access. Right now the government has given seamless access to all the registries. In the next session I may tell where all the registers are available. So it is very easy to access the registers. And availability, right now we know we are in a technological era, availability is there. Sustainability is the biggest question. So right now we should sustain, because normally we have a culture or an ecosystem or working for some metric. For say, if inspection is there, we work. If some exam is there, we work. But it should be a day-to-day process. So if at all we do a day-to-day process, sustainability is going to be very easy. So innovations by the students. So kindly allow your students, or kindly allow yourself to do a lot of innovations. So these are some of the things for inclusion. Going into the next, ecosystem. So how ecosystem can be created in your own departments or in your own institutes, or in your own classroom as well. You can create a good ecosystem in your own classroom or your clinics. Incentives or awards. So a lot of incentives. It may be a very small incentive, or an award can be given to an innovator, because right now I'm an innovator for last 10 years, but because of the present ecosystem, I have been identified in 2015 by my administrators, because I was doing some innovations, some crooked thinking to make my students learn something. So I did something accidentally, because I want my students to learn the subject. So I want to do some contribution towards the science. So all this has put us given us some incentives, and the administrators or the HOD or the department chair can tell us innovation clusters. They can form different innovation clusters and just try to give organizational autonomy to your subordinate, to your colleagues, everybody, and flexibility. So this easily comes when we have a mindset called win, win, win. So the autonomy and flexibility can be created, and policies and programs. Government of India is trying to bring in many policies. Recently, the government is also amending the patent policy. And right now, Government of India has said all the institutions should have an Institute Innovation Council, should have a startup cell. Both the things has to have a policy. If you ask for startup policy, there is a faculty startup policy. For say, if the faculty comes out with a new innovation, the faculty has to be given scope. And first 6 months out of 8 hours, 2 hours they have to be allowed to do on their own startup. So there is a lot of policy has been drafted, and the Government of India has launched, and they have told all the institutes has to have this policy. IPR policy has to be brought in. So all these policies will help or will promote people to do. So the administrators, if you have the policy, you can revisit it. If you don't have the policy, so we are definitely very much interested in creating policies and systems at your own places. So IPR and patent today, probably another an hour or so, I might slightly throw a light on this area. So web and ICT, everybody knows web and ICT as a very good tool for innovation. Today, you want any answer, whether your crooked thinking is there on reality, you can definitely ask Google. It will tell you whether the solution is already available or what all the solutions are available, so we can start thinking more crankily. So this is the next one, the drivers, simple logic. We should have a multidisciplinary approach. So this is again, I will come back to the same old mindset, win, win, win. So for say multidisciplinary, since it's a medical college, I hope I'm predominantly addressing the medical fraternity. So in the curriculum, it is already there, horizontal integration and vertical integration, which will give you a lot of thinking and a lot of linkages for education. Same way, when it comes for innovations, you may have to vertically or horizontally integrate, help each other, and collaborative, multidisciplinary and collaborative are more or less same. And this is what it's required. Generational change versus incremental change. So there should be some generational change, or at least looking for an incremental slow changes. So next 5 years or so, you are in a better place in this IPR activity, because since if this government is going to be there into 2024, a lot of emphasis will be there on these areas, because in all their programs they talk about innovations. So space for discourse, how do we do it? So start discussing. For say, if you are convinced with my talk, so you can start discussing, debating, and best practices. So every department have a lot of best practices. So probably you can identify those best practices that might be solution to the whole world, that can be captivated. Many a time, one of my best practices is I want to make students learn dentistry in the field. So that best practices was identified by my higher up, and they said, I've never seen anything in this in my life. So why can't you do something? So that is the spark which I got in the year 2015. And I owe this journey to all my administrators out there in my university. So that is one thing. And new ideas, kindly give scope for new ideas. Simple logic, I'll tell you, if at all we promote a student to ask a stupid question inside the department, the stupid question is tomorrow's answer. So one example I'll give you. Today everybody talks through wristwatch. So we have a wrist smartwatch where it does everything. About 15 years before, I don't know how many people have seen James Bond's film in 2000 or 1990s. He will be talking on the wristwatch, and everybody laughed. They think it never happens. So yesterday's nonsense was today's sense. So kindly have an idea. Today's a nonsense question will be tomorrow's sensible thinking. So this is new ideas. And media, you have a lot of scope on it. So with this last few slides of innovation, so if you want to sustain, if you are convinced, these are the 5 approaches. You can do it in your own places. If you are confused with my presentation, kindly go home and think. So always it is better. So the democratization, identifying and empowering. So kindly identify innovative thinkers or cranky thinkers and empower them. And autonomy, freedom, flexibility, accountability, and transparency. These are some of the things we should have in your own classrooms, in your own departments, everywhere. And increase faculty and students' participation and improve governance and planning. These are the 5 aspects. At least if you are trying to implement 2 or 3, it will take you a long way. So what next? So this is the last slide of my first presentation. Open mind. So be open, ready to accept change, flexible and ready to accept change, team up and start innovating. So thank you for the patient listening. This is my first half. I can break for 1 minute or 2. Chinmay can tell me, because I don't want to give a monotonous talking. We can have some discussion, and then next 20 minutes I'm just shifting my slide. So Chinmay.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Senthil. One question is from Dr. Pinaki is regarding a lot of private medical college are not getting fund, are devoid of fund, or not eligible to get fund from the government. What can be done to procure that fund for these innovations?
Okay, sir. For innovations, the government of India is giving lot of scope. See, there is a startup India is there for, say you have an incubator cell. See, it depends on projects what you submit. If the projects are very good, if it is sustainable projects, there are a lot of funding opportunities are there. Simple logic, I will tell you, if a student is coming out with a new idea and he wants to start a new industry, so through Startup India, they can get it registered, and the loans are very less costing with in terms of interest rate, and within a day or so they are giving the loan sanctioning. So that is one system. It is called Startup India, Stand Up India. Through that portal we can approach, and a lot of other innovation through IIC. They are looking in for. Recently, my department has participated in a toy hackathon. Toy hackathon is innovative toys where toys will make them listen. So I have a lot of copyrights done on board games. So we have applied for, and if at all our games got selected, 50 lakhs is the funding to test the toy and to make come into market. So they have started with this innovation hackathons. A lot of hackathons are coming where government is looking for new ideas they want to promote. If our idea is very good, definitely funding support is there. So right now, what government is thinking is appropriate usage of funds, accountability of funds. So that is where we need to, if there are 10 rules they have laid, we have to follow 8 rules. Then we can approach for a funding. So the funding is definitely available. It's the way we approach is the issue, because everywhere because when you go near the funding, they will ask a lot of documentation. I'm not denying it, but if at all we are able to give all those documentation, fundings are available. It depends on the project and depends on the documentation, how clear we are. So this is the example. As of now, I can tell we are also trying for the same funding opportunities. So right now we have applied. So right now the government of India has come out with 2021 Startup Awards. The Startup Awards will have a lot of funding. So once our startup is got registered, we can apply for this award. Once the award has come, a lot of funding is going to come along with. So that is how government is trying to promote everywhere. So I think I've answered the question partially. If he is not convinced, so probably I don't know. This is my explanation.
Yes, sir. Okay, Dr. Joseph Philip Raj sir has shared his view that innovation is a way of life. It needs not be just inventing a new things. It is something the way you think, way you apply your thought process, way you practice. It has a vast meaning and applications. Thank you, sir, for sharing your view. One more question is, sir, can you share the procedure needed for starting funded research in our institute? I am just going through all the questions, so you can answer one by one. Can a government official open up a startup company?
Can a government official start? Yes, definitely, because as per the new startup policy AICTE has launched, the government official also are eligible to do a startup policy. There are a lot of principles you may have to follow. So it depends on the company how it grows. So definitely there is a scope, there is a policy.
And do we need to apply to UGC, as Dr. Pinaki has already applied to the UGC and they have been rejected because they are in the private college?
Private college, so he's asking about funding, or he's asking about startups?
Funding.
Funding is again UGC. We may have to think what they promote, because UGC doesn't, as of now, UGC is not promoting innovations. That is where the question is. So he may have to go and knock the appropriate doors. See, the question is, we may have to go and knock the appropriate doors instead of knocking the different door. So a lot
So
of
we would like to know, sir,
opportunities
the different doors or which we can knock.
So we can, but that's what, no, right now they said the Startup India, there is a website is there. If you go, there are a lot of opportunities are coming. Okay. Toy hackathon has come. So right now, last year they have conducted a hackathon for industrial design. So right now the government of India is coming out with a lot of, an institutional innovation council is there. There is an IIC website. So if you go to Institutional Innovation Council, they are conducting a lot of hackathons for innovation.
Okay.
Yeah,
It is
Institutional Innovation Council, Startup India. So all these websites have a lot of funding opportunities. You may have to go and knock the appropriate door.
okay, sir. Okay.
Okay.
So I think we can go to the next session, and with us we have Dr. Adkoli sir also now with us.
Okay. So another half an hour or so, I might be slightly debriefing on the roadmap to IPR. Let me share the screen. So my screen is visible.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes,
so, yeah, I will take a clue from what Dr. Philip has said. Innovation is not only inventing. Definitely, sir, innovations is not only inventing. So here, a lot of processes, a lot of critical thinkings can be captivated. And for say you do one process which is good for your students, that might be a solution for the entire country. We may have to do a research, give a publication, because many a times our day-to-day practices, we are not captivating. We are simply blindfolded, because we can captivate it, and we have different forums, different registries to register those things and then promote, disseminate, and make sure other people are using it. So that innovation is nothing but we should make sure the other people uses it, because if they think it is simple, it's a solution for an existing problem, definitely it has a lot of scope. It is not only for monetary benefits, it is for the easiness for everybody. So with this clue, I will tell you, innovations it's a very big, vast area, and right now you think anything, we can get it secured in any of these places. Okay, so let me talk. This is going to be roadmap to conquer the battle, intellectual property right. This is what the next half an hour I'm going to talk on. So what is intellectual property? This is a small definition or so given by, there is an organization called World Intellectual Property Organization. It's called WIPO, like WHO. So most of our policies are based on WIPO. So we are also a signatory like WHO. This organization controls the intellectual property for the entire world. So it refers to creation of any new thing, invention, literary, artistic, and names and images used in commerce. Anything which is new, which can be definitely captivated. So which can be captivated. So let me go to the next slide. Matters. If you see reward for intellectual creators, it is monetary benefit, professionalism, recognition. So today, I don't know whether I have some monetary benefits or not because of my innovations and because of my IPR activity. I've been known, recognized throughout the country, and encouragement and growth. So creativity is encouraging. It is a kind of a disease. If you start creating, and sky is the limit, so you will enjoy doing it. And industrial growth. This is predominantly the government of India is looking in terms of industrial growth and a lot of professionalism. So recognition of protection is to ensure protection and recognition for unwritten and unrecorded cultural experiences. So these are the things they are looking in terms of. So coming into types of IPR, so I'm going to list what are all the types of IPR which is available in India. So I might spend 2 minutes on each of the things. So I'm not going to talk more on copyright because my other speaker, follow-up speaker, Dr. P.V. Adkoli sir, will be highlighting on copyrights. So I might take 2 minutes on patents, industrial design, layout, and trademark and GA register. So coming into patents. So patents, everybody knows it is an invention, and if you see what is an invention, it is an exclusive right what Government of India gives to an individual for his new invention. It might be a product, it might be a process. The Government of India looks in for 3 things. That is called 3 statutory pillars. When you apply for an application, they will look in for these 3 things, whether your invention is having this. First is novelty, what is new in this. So if at all somebody comes with the invention, we will first identify what is novel, new in it. Then inventive step. What is the inventive step? It may be a very small inventive step from the existing product that becomes novel and an inventive step. So then it's called industrial applicability. Industrial applicability is it should be applicable in your respective industries, like medical industry or an health educational industry or in healthcare, or it can be medical education, anything. It is a commerce. So coming into patentable invention must be related to a process or a product or growth. So it should be novel, as I've already said, involves an inventive step, and be capable of industrial application. These are the three things. Kindly go home, remember this. It should have novelty, inventive step, and industrial applicability. In the ladder of IPR, patents are kept on the high on the ladder and copyrights are kept on the low on the ladder. A simple example I normally give for everybody is, patent is something like a randomized control trial in research, and copyright is something like a descriptive epidemiology in research. But definitely we need a descriptive epidemiology to get into randomized control trial. So definitely copyright is also having its own value, and patents also having its own value, but the weightage is different. What is an invention? So invention means a new product or a process involving an inventive step and capable of industrial applicability. This is section 2. This is from the Indian IPR policy. Whatever I mentioned here is from Indian IPR policy, which is already there in place, and right now government is trying to amend the IPR policies. The new policy will soon be rolled out. So they already get the opinions from the experts. We have all given our own inputs how it has to be improvised. So invention must not be published in India. This is the major one, because many a times what happen here is we have lot of inventions. People, because right now academician point of view is publication, publication, publication. But right now we may have to think the mantra in patent invention is, if you publish it in India, then your invention will not be granted. Okay. So okay.
Before we proceed further, can you elaborate on this point, that publication means if I publish, I have done some software, I have prepared some software newly, which is not available still now in India. And if I publish it in one journal, get so and so new software has been created at Bhavnagar. So once I do that, it will not be considered as innovation?
So first you need to see your software comes under which registry. So it depends on the rules and regulations, depends on that registry. As on today, the standalone softwares comes under copyrightable subject matter. So if it is a copyrightable subject matter, this whatever I say about invention, novelty, industrial applicability will not apply, because copyright laws are different. So as per copyright laws, if you publish also, because when we go and register the software, you will not, in the publication you would have mentioned only about the software. Here in the Copyright Office, they will ask for the source code, object code, and the whole software. They will try to secure the whole software so that it can be indigenized. They don't worry whether it is already published. They only ask if it's already published, get us an NOC, no objection certificate from the publisher, to get it registered here.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
For say, if it is an instrument, you develop an instrument where there is a software, so you test the instrument and you immediately go into publication. The novelty is lost, because once you publish, the novelty, the new is not there. Already it is there in the public domain.
Okay, sir. Okay.
In that instance, first you have to run to the patent office. First you have to register the patent. The very next day you can publish. The very next minute you can publish. So here the mantra for invention is patent it, publish it, cherish it.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Because many a times in India, what has happened is many of the people have asked, I have developed some new material, new product, I've already published it. If you publish it, then we go to the patent office. The patent examiner will search whether already what your concept is available in any of the public domains. If any of the public domains is there, that it says in 2016 you have registered the patent, and 2015 it is already published. They said your invention doesn't have novelty, it is already there in the public domain. So your publication will become an enemy for your invention. So this is where a lot of educators have made a mistake, because we are not aware of it. It was there for a long. We are not aware of it. Okay.
Thank you.
So that's how I put it. The prior public knowledge or prior public use within India, what is claimed must be different from what is already known. So these are the new means. So coming into inventive step, a future of invention should be involves technical advancement as compared to the existing knowledge, has economical significancy, makes the invention not obvious to a person skilled in the art. So it should be totally different. It might be very small. I will give you an example what a small is. Would a person with ordinary skill would not have thought about this. So these are some of the inventive steps coming into industrial applicability. Since I am a dentist, I put it should be applied in dentistry, but it can be applied in any industry. Being an human, you can also do some innovations on kitchen tool, on cooking. So that can be, it is useful for cooking. So we can also do some inventions on cooking. We can also do some inventions on anything as a human, but it has to deal with a particular subject what we are inventing. So I have an invention what to do next. So now I think I've given you some examples. I will go for some examples. So what is first thing you have to do? Any chat, anybody tells? If you have an invention, what next? So let me tell you have two options. One is publishing and one is patenting. Which one you will take first? Sir, anybody on the chat box or am I audible? Can I go ahead? Okay, let me continue. I think I'm audible. So you have to go to the patent office first and then publish next. So let me tell a few examples. What is a patent wealth? So many people might be thinking a small idea. So here I will tell you how a small idea made a person billionaire. So I think everyone knows Chinmay is online.
Sir, yes, sir.
Yeah, can you identify what is this?
Yes, sir. This pin, actually, I know little bit about it. It is 1 paisa. Patent is getting 1 paisa per tin.
Yeah,
and so the
it
person
was a very,
lots of.
Okay, let me tell you an example. See, before in 1980s, before this Coke tin opener was devised, for the knowledge of the audience, I will share the story. Or you want to share the story, Chinmay?
I know this much only. So you share the details, sir.
Okay, I will tell you clearly. In 1980s or 1990s, when Coke and Pepsi were doing market in a lot of the developed countries, they are manufacturing this tin. Those time, the tin opener was automatic tin opener like this was not there. There will be a tin opener. It will be a ridge. So somebody has to screw it, open it. When they open it, most of the solution pops up. So somebody thought this is a problem. So how do we easily open it? So he developed a design where it can be easily opened up with just a split. So which is rigid and it can be easily opened up. So he registered this patent in a US patent office. It is a very small development. It is an inventive step is there. It is a very small invention. So he went to the US patent office and patented. That time brand leaders were Coke and Pepsi. They went to the inventor and asked for the licensing. Give us the technology. So the deal was every tin sold in the market will give him a royalty of 2 cents. So every tin, so probably if it is sold for $1, 100 cents, 2 cents will go to him because other things are there, manufacturing costs, marketing costs and all these things. So at one point of time, Coke and Pepsi were selling around 2 crore tins. Sorry, 1 crore tins in the market per day throughout the world. So he used to get about 2 lakh cents, around $20,000 in a day, if my calculation is right. So just calculate what is $20,000. Okay, so nothing is small, nothing is nonsense. So many times this is what an inventor will come and talk to me, sir, many people are telling this will not work out, this will not work out, this will not work out. I said, forget about it. Don't listen to those people. You do what you feel like. You register it. We will see whether tomorrow it comes into reality or not. Because what government is also thinking is out of 100 inventions, if 10 hits the market and 2 kicks off and gives the solution for the entire country, lot of economical stability. So for the 2 and 10 to come, there should be 100 inventions. So since lack of time, I have a great example of this. I don't want to spend much. So this is one example, just it can be a homework to the participants. They can go home, type dual SIM patent infringement. There are a lot of controversies that happen. I will give you a clue. This dual SIM inventor is an Indian. But he has been, because of the geopolitical, economical, and the crab attitude scenario, he's been totally put in depression, and finally he died. So go to Google, ask a question, it will give you the story. So let me go to the industrial design. I will send very few things. Lot of scope is there in this industrial design. So industrial design is nothing but it is an appearance of an article which results from features such as lines or colors. So there might be an existing invention. So we might redesign it. For say everybody knows about some equipment. So for say today I have a chair. So we are sitting in the chair, no one can claim an invention for it. But we can definitely claim an industrial design if the design is so new, fresh, with a lot of color contrast and everything. So that is called industrial design. And being an healthcare profession, we have a lot of scope in this industrial design because we use a lot of equipments in our day-to-day process. Many times we think the grip is bad, the handle is bad, why this is like this, why the color is like this. Everything we can redesign it, put it a fresh look, fresh color, and which can go into industrial design. And the particular design will be secured, which will give you a lot of monetary benefits. So I think everyone can identify it is an auto, but the design is new. So example, today in the market, any automobile, new cars, new motorbikes comes into the market, they first go into the industrial design. Otherwise, the other rivalry company can copy it and sell the same design with their logo. So the industrial design is one more aspect where we may have to think of. Okay, this is a wide scope. What is the benefit of industrial design? Helps obtain return of investment, provide exclusive right. For this, we don't need to be an inventor. We don't need to think crankily. We have to just aesthetically, we may have to think. We may have to have a good artistic or whatever it might be. Technical knowledge. Since investment is low, can be done by small companies, and for this also it can come as a startup company. Once you register in the industrial design, if an undergraduate says this stethoscope, why can't we modify like this and give a very good aesthetic with the stethoscope, he can bring in a startup company where with one or two products he can start his own company. So it is a revenue generator. This is about industrial design. Coming into the next one is called layout design. Sir?
Yeah, can I ask one more question in between?
Yeah, yes,
for example, sure. We have developed, as you said, that industrial design, same way, we are doing an assessment, okay?
Okay.
We are doing assessment of the student, and we devise something that, okay, rather than taking Viva in this way, now we have doing it in some innovative way. So does it come under IPR?
Yeah, it comes under copyright, sir, because it is a process. It doesn't have a tangible effect. It is a process. You are telling about a process where you have a lot of different steps, different checklists, or different processes. You are telling you can implement it in your. So it can be a manual kind of a book where all the other departments can follow it. So in those aspects, it comes as a literary work. Is a copyrightable subject matter. So we can definitely register it in the copyright, and then the book will be secured. The flowcharts will be secured. So no one can use the same flowchart what you are explaining it on the slide. This thing. Sorry. So definitely scope is there.
Okay, sir. Okay.
I think I've answered your question. Can I move on?
Sir, please.
Yeah. So let me go to the next. It's called a layout design. So here I will have one question to Chinmay, since Chinmay has asked this layout design, no, which is also very easily, and it's on economical security for a lot of educationists also. You know, there is one MBA person with a 3-gram organ. He developed a system where now the company is a 1,600 crore company. Throughout India, they have branches. And it was an idea with a 3-gram organ. Any idea? And his branches throughout the country will look similar, which has went into layout design. He has branches in the entire country with a 3-gram organ. But now they have diversified. They're into all the things, but his initial idea was a 3-gram organ. Now he's in Bombay. The head office is at Bombay.
Kalyani Jewelers or anything?
No, it is. I'm talking about an healthcare innovator.
Healthcare innovator.
Okay, let me give the answer. It's called Thyrocare. Heard of Thyrocare?
Yes, Thyrocare. Yes.
It's a 3-gram organ where he started his industry with investigation of thyroid hormone, where the samples are standardized, samples will be sent to one place, and now the company's worth is 1,600 crores, and wherever Thyrocare you go, their design is their company will be have a similar color contrast, similar offices, the matching. That is called a layout design. One more example I'll give you is Apollo Pharmacies. So go to any Apollo pharmacy, their color contrast, their arrangements will be more or less similar. So you can easily identify that is an Apollo pharmacy. Okay, I think in Gujarat, Apollo pharmacies are there. I think I don't want to give you a wrong example. Sir, Chinmay?
Apollo is there, yes. Apollo Pharmacy is there, yes.
So
In
this is a picture from down south. So the color contrast, the inner architecture, everything is similar. So this is called a layout design. So if any of the doctors wants to start chain of clinics, chain of labs, chain of investigations, chain of hospital, they can design their own layout and secure it in layout design, so that nobody else can. It's again a brand value. That's called a layout design. Okay, so coming into last few slides of trademarking, and I have one more as GI register. I might take another.
This will be under layout design. Sir? Is again under patenting.
Layout design is not patenting, sir. It is again a layout register. A separate layout register is there. So they will only look in terms of new layouts. They will not see for inventive step and all these things. If the layout is new, it's nowhere in the public domain, they will register it and secure your layout.
Okay.
That is mainly for architectural things. So which cannot be taken into equipments. Equipment layout is different. So for say, it is about mainly on the architecture, building, landscaping, all these things. Am I clear, sir?
Yeah. Please, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So go into last few slides. Two areas are there: trademark and GI register. So trademark is simple. If you start any company or if you want to promote, as and when you see the logo, you remember about the company. So as and when you see a old man in a logo, what do you think? Anybody can answer? What do you think, Chinmay? As soon as you see a old man in the logo, and his idea was after retirement, he got the idea of the particular product at the age of 83.
Okay, I have some reply in the chat box. KFC?
Yeah, great. Kentucky Fried Chicken. So innovations, age is not the limit. Kentucky Fried Chicken. So as soon as you see a the old man, you know it is Kentucky Fried Chicken. But there are a lot of people infringe on us also. Because down south, I am from Tamil Nadu, down south, there is the one place called same grandfather, old man will come. But when I go closer, it shows it's called TFC, Tasty Fried Chicken. So it's called branding. So if at all you want to do a lot of branding, simple logic, copyrights, patents will help you design new equipments, new processes. Once you're done with it for say new software, with the new software, you want to start a company, you can come into layout design to start the architectural work. Once that is done, you want to start different branding, you have a logo for the company, it has to be trademarked. So everything comes under IPR. So the product, process, individuals, it comes under copyright, patent. Once it goes into an industry, a bigger entity, either industrial design or layout design, then once it becomes more branding, your logo can be designed newly and it goes into trademark, because as and when you see the logo, people think about your company and a lot of economical benefits are there, visibility is there. Trademark is a distinct sign that identifies certain goods or services produced or provided by an individual or a company. So a lot of examples for trademarks are there, varieties of trademarks you can see already: Kentucky Fried Chicken, Subway. So everywhere the people have started doing trademarking. Once your company or once your organization is getting bigger, you need to do a trademark register of your logo, because that gives visibility for the common man. So that's what initially I started. All this IPR activity is not for individual growth. Individual growth, this should be there. It is a secondary one. Why Government of India is doing is primarily for the country's growth. So when it comes to IPR, definitely you can grow if you put country first. So coming into, I think I'll move on to the next one. It's called geographical indication. So far, I have told about individual growth or a company's growth or an organizational growth. Here, geographical indication is about the city's growth, a place growth, a village or a city or a town's growth. Any guesses about geographical indication? I will stop for a minute just to ask, because it's a very interesting topic, because you should know what Government of India is doing, because all this time we have been seeing about individual, organization or personal growth or our own organizational growth. But here the Government of India is concentrating on all these things, promoting us, and this one the government is doing from 2004. And right now, lot many things they have brought into GI register. Any idea?
Hyderabad.
What is GI register?
Yeah, Dr. Swapnil want to say something. I am unmuting him. Dr.
Okay.
Swapnil, you can unmute yourself now.
Yes, Dr. Senthil, I wanted to just point out to that Nike Swish logo invention.
Nike?
Where that lady, Nike's logo Swish, where one lady had helped the Nike founder make the Swish logo, and then he compensated her many years later.
Yeah. There are a lot of disputes are going on. Logo disputes are going on, sir. See,
No, there was
logo
no dispute. Just at that time, he didn't pay her handsomely, but when his company succeeded, he paid that lady handsomely, actually.
Okay. That's what they went into controversy, and finally the money they got compensation, right, sir?
Though there was no controversy, actually, he didn't have the money at that time. It was a new company.
Okay. That is another issue.
Just that I wanted to, yeah.
Oh, thanks for your knowledge sharing, sir. Okay, thank you very much. So, any comments?
In response to your question, the response is Maheshwari sari from Banaras, sari in that part of country. It is the response from your slide, sir.
Okay, let me tell you what is GI tag is. What Government of India is doing is, so GI tag is normally now Government of India or any country, they are right now is identifying the products of the particular place. It is called the geographical indication is a sign used on a product that have a specific geographical origin and possess a quality, reputation or characterization that is due to that origin. So culturally, we might be doing a lot of products in a particular place. One example I can give you from down south is called the sari. What I mentioned is called Kanchipuram silks near Chennai. So GI tag has been given. So anybody starts a company in that particular place, they can use a GI tag called Kanchipuram silks and market it world over. So likewise, I have a lot of examples. This is anyone can identify. This is called a Darjeeling tea. And this is the first GI tag given by Government of India in 2004. And anybody have an estate or anybody have a tea manufacturing in Darjeeling, they can market it as Darjeeling tea. And they can, in the small, they can put it as Senthil manufacturer so and so. The Darjeeling tea is world over famous, so they can use the tag called Darjeeling. So likewise, the Government of India is thinking.
Do you have to pay for it?
No need to pay for it. It is the economical validity of a particular place. Only thing, you should have a registered company there. So you should have a company at Darjeeling and you should manufacture. If you're not doing it, then the government will ask you not to use the name. So the government will not ask for any name. You just go start a company, put this tag, because the government is doing this to protect the economy of the particular place. So I have a lot of interesting stories how now governments are fighting. Now we are talking about individuals are fighting for reach, right? Now for GI tag, governments are fighting. So the lot of examples are there on that. I'll just tell you. These are some of the examples. In Gujarat, I think you can identify, sir. Kuchu embroidery. Is it famous? Kutch embroidery.
Yeah, Kutch embroidery. Yes.
There are a lot of GI tag products are there. So right now, down south in Tamil Nadu, the government of Tamil Nadu has identified 236 products to be GI tagged. And even small villages are getting GI tag because of their uniqueness. One simple example I'll tell you right now, the famous biryani ingredient, basmati rice. A US company has tried patenting it. There is a Rice Tech, a company which patented basmati rice, and government of India went and fought. And for this reason, the government started an organization called Traditional Knowledge Digital Library. That is, with this help only, they have cracked the patents of turmeric, they cracked the patents of neem. And the turmeric patent has been crashed, and now the GI tag has been given down south in one place called Erode. And in Basmati rice, what has happened is Rice Tech is a company from US tried to register patent, and still now they have 2 or 3 claims. They claim for the length of the rice and aroma of the rice. And right now government has went fight it out and crashed the patent. And right now they are trying to give GA tag. 2 states are fighting for the GA tag. Any guesses? Which are the states? That is a
response from Dr. Pinaki that Rasagulla is disputed between
Rasagola, yeah, okay. So Rasagola, it was a fight between West Bengal and Bhubaneswar, and both have got it. Rasagola for one state and Rasagola for one state.
One more question
now
is that
this fight is at live. Still, they have not given the GA tag. Which state? Any idea? Which is very close to Gujarat. Any idea? 2 states are fighting. Okay, let me tell the answer. Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh.
okay.
So just go to Google and type Basmati rice GA tag controversy.
Okay.
So you'll get all this answer.
Yeah, one more question is, right now in era of online lectures, we all are taking online lecture. If you are recorded, if you are right now, for example, this session is going on YouTube as well as on Facebook Live. So people will get it recorded and sell it on their own place. So anything can be done for it.
If it is a video recorded, eventually YouTube will give you the copyright. Okay, if anybody infringes, because it is already, once it is come into the public domain with our face and everything is there, if somebody takes and telecasts it, we can definitely go and fight it out in the court of law. Because the public domain contents like YouTube is a copyrightable subject matter, because many a times when you download an image, when you download a video, they will tell there is a copyrightable subject matter is there, be cautious. And all these issues comes when the other party downloads and use it for commercialization purpose. So for say the other party downloads this lecture and use it in a different forum and sells it out. Definitely I can go and stop it. You can go and stop it. Because it's there in the public domain, which gives you a clear visibility, because that's where the copyright discussion has to happen. You should be very clear which one has to get secured with Government of India, which automatically gets copyrighted. Automatically gets copyrighted if it is this content, if it is already there in the public domain and many people have seen it, it is seen the originality belongs to me and Chinmay.
Okay.
So if anybody takes this video out and they are putting it in somewhere in down north or northeast and they are telecasting it and collecting some money for each download, if at all we come to know, we can definitely send a legal notice.
And if it is used for educational purpose?
If it is for non-commercial purpose, then we need to morally decide. I need only moral right. So put a disclaimer. We need to ask them. This content has been downloaded from, at least give me the reference, give me the citation.
Okay.
So if we think we don't want to use it, we can definitely tell no, my content is so secure, so you should not use it. So the right, see, I get the right and I decide what to do with that right. Either give it commercially or give it free for the betterment. So simple logic, this IPR registration, I will tell you, it is buying a land. You buy a land, what will you do, sir? You go to the register office, register the land. Then you leave it like that. You don't leave it like that, right? No. You need to promote it and you need to decide whether you earn money or give it for charity. You can build a house, you can build a palace, you can build a shopping mall. At the same time, you can build an NGO, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is how IPR works. So we need to believe ourselves, we need to decide, and if somebody infringing, we need to see what is the type of infringement, and we can definitely send a legal notice. Even a simple mail, we can tell this is a YouTube content, it is my content, and it has been published in this state, it is there in the public domain, you are using for this purpose, kindly give us an acknowledgement or stop it, or we will send you a legal battle. Because already the public domain content is a copyrighted one. So even in the lot of television channels, you can put, no, this is a copyright content. They don't go to copyright office. If it is there in the public domain, it is already there. But there are certain things we need to definitely secure it, because they might try to manipulate. So with this last few slides, 12:15 I need to finish. So 11:15 I started. So protection of intellectual property, since I have told about GA tag and all these things, this is some of the examples of Tamil Nadu. Sorry for the slide, I didn't remove it. So let me skip this slide. And this is how the Copyright India works. So you can see Ministry of Commerce and Industry, you can see patent design, trademark, GI, everything comes under Ministry of Commerce, and copyright comes under Human Resources. And let me tell, like a lot of our registers like blind register, cancer registry, tuberculosis registry. So government has created a lot of registers for this. Let me show you a slide, a comprehensive slide of different register. Patent Office, the Government of India is having 4 registers. So jurisdically from Gujarat, people has to go into Mumbai Patent Office. And from down south, I'm from Tamil Nadu, I have to go to Chennai Patent Office. There are 6 states comes under here, not 8 states and union territories, including Lakshadweep, Andaman, Pondicherry, everywhere. Chennai Patent Office, and all the 4 patent offices are connected digitally, and you can sit at home and file the patent. Only thing, you might need some digital signatures and other things, or a consultant will help you in registering the patent in the patent office. The design register office, the layout design register office, both the registered office are there in Kolkata for the entire country. Again, that is digitalized. Trademark register is there in different places, and that is also digitalized. You can sit at home and do the trademark registry. And GI register for the entire country, it is there in Chennai, and that is not in our scope, because as an individual we cannot go, but as an organization we can go. Even if the government is not doing it, for say if some organization is there, for say there is an organization for silk manufacturers in a particular place, the silk manufacturing organization can claim the GI tag for the particular place. The similar manner down south, we have one organization, manufacturer, gone to GI register and got the grant. So I don't know how many people knows about groundnut candies. You know groundnut candies, Chinmay?
Groundnut candies.
Groundnut candies. They make candies with the help of groundnut, which is very famous in down south, and particular village. There were a lot of manufacturers were there. They joined together and applied in Government of India for a GI tag for the particular groundnut candy, which uses the particular soil, particular water, and particular jaggery. So they claimed it, and now the government has given GI tag because it is down south. I don't want to mention the name, so because people might not be familiar, the audience might not be familiar. So likewise,
Dr. Swati has replied, is a Chiki.
Chiki, yeah. So that is called Kovilpatti Kalamittai. I'm using a Tamil term. Kovilpatti is a place, and Chiki, that's called Kovilpatti Chiki. The Chiki manufacturers of the particular place called Kovilpatti, they have approached Government of India for a GI tag. So they got the grant as well. So this is some of the things. So, and the jurisdictions, I think these are the patent offices. I'm almost, sorry sir, I'm running ahead of 3 minutes more. So Adkoli sir, I'm sorry for it. So I strongly believe in Abdul Kalam, and because he is one of my favorite, he is my visionary, and what to say, it's a great person in life. I follow him a lot, and a simple explanation, and I like him a lot because he's a person who told a lot of quotes. One quote I like him a lot is dream, 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 let your dreams be realistic. So because of that, I like him a lot, and I owe this journey to all my mentors, and any queries, I think we can handle it at the end, sir, because already we are 3 minutes late of the session.
It was a great session from you, Dr. Senthil. We learned a lot thing, and it has cleared many doubts. As you said, I think your first or second sentence was that till now everything was exist, but till now we were kept in a cloud. Dark, yes. So it is like that. So you have removed that dark. In Sanskrit there is one slok, asatoma sadgamaya tamsoma jyotirgamaya. So like that you have removed some dark from the cloud which is existing in our this knowledge, particularly in IPR. So thank you very much for it, and we will see that if some questions are there, people can ask questions in a chat box. So we will ask at the end to Dr. Senthil. And now we are moving on to a specific issue or a specific topic, we can say, that is of copyright. And I invite Dr. B.B. Adkoli sir. And before we start, let me have a brief introduction of sir. Sir is presently working as a director of Center of Health Professional Education at Sir Balaji Vidyapeeth. And before that, sir was at JIPMER. Before that, sir was at AIIMS, New Delhi. And sir has also worked with the National Health Portal at Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India. Served as a faculty of Hema Regional Institute, Ludhiana. He is also accredited educator for Advanced Trauma Life Support, ATLS India, and also
No,
a member of.
Chinmay, please cut it short. I don't
Okay,
want any
okay,
interruption. Please cut it short
okay,
because I
sir.
have got
So
10
welcome you,
minutes.
sir. Okay, okay, sir. So welcome to the show, sir, and over to you, sir.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay. In fact, I had a few slides, but considering the time limit, I think I can skip it because time is very important. And one thing I have to tell you that sometimes, if it is very difficult to listen to 5 minutes audio recording, but sometimes if the movie is very good, even if it is 3 hours movie, you will be interested till the last minute. That is what has
Yes,
happened
sir.
today.
Yes, sir.
First of
Yes,
all,
sir.
because the topic which is chosen by you is extremely relevant and important. And secondly, we have chosen a right person for the right job. Because having known Dr. Sendil for the last 5 years, I was 100% sure that he is the one who is going to do full justice to this topic. So, Chinmay, if you don't mind, I can skip this slide also, and I'm ready to just speak for a few minutes so that we can engage more in interactive questions. Sanjay,
Sir, what I suggest is I am making you presenter, so you share your slide. So some of the things which, if you want
okay,
to be
okay,
visualize, people can
yeah,
go
then
just.
okay.
I am making you presenter, sir. Yeah. You have to click on share my. Yeah, we can see. Yes, sir.
I'll be very, very quick, like Sendil.
It was like
And
I
it was
don't have
like
a
a
proper
film.
word I can say, but we
No, no,
love a lot thing and we learn lot many things in an hour.
yes, yes,
Definitely, we in
Chinmay,
future will have a long course.
first of all, I want to tell you, I want to congratulate you because if you ask me from my experience of 30 years in medical education, if somebody asks me what is single most important topic for faculty development, I will say start with IPR. Because as very rightly pointed out by Sendil, the whole mantra of India's development lies in one is IPR. That is from the country's perspective. Secondly, what is country? After all, good organizations make the country. So for the organization, they have to be aware of the whole IPR system in place. And the third level is the individual levels. So individual is everybody is interested in our growth and our career enhancement, isn't it? So IPR is the topic wherein you combine individual talent with organizational strength, which makes the country strength. So obviously, I very strongly recommend that IPR is a beginning. And today's webinar is going to be just a beginning. You have understood it. It's a kind of a trailer which Sandil has given, and we'll be very happy to continue this dialogue. To our interest is that the benefit of our experience and expertise must reach the country. Especially I can tell about myself because I believe in that the scholarship is one wherein ultimately give back to the society should be your mantra. Let me tell very crisply about what is copyright. As Sendil has he has told about the patents. Patents means you deal with devices. He has told about layouts, and he has also told about GIs, and he has told about trademarks. These are all the very, very kind of glamorous, important topics for a person to go beyond one's limit. But the point is, if you ask me straight away, what can be done right now and what is more feasible, I would say start with copyright. So copyright is nothing but it is an exclusive right granted to the author of a publication, production, sale, and distribution of literary, musical, dramatic, and artistic. There are 4 domains of works which are under copyright, and all copyrights under the Indian Copyright Act 1957. It is not a new concept. Now, what is the purpose? As Sendil told in the beginning itself, we want to promote progress of knowledge. And again, we need to commercialize the ideas to the needy. And thirdly, to share the ideas to the public. Earlier, the concept mindset was that copyright means I am hiding. It is my birthright. I am locking down. That is not the idea at all. The idea of copyright is I must make it available under the public domain for the benefit of the people. Very interestingly, I will tell you one small anecdote for a minute. because it tells the whole meaning of it. When somebody, a guru was telling lecture about Buddha, a student laughed at him. Sir, you are telling Buddha, what is Buddha? Buddha means, it is giving up to the society and everything. So should we give up everything to the society and become Buddha and become sannyasi? And the guru replied, if you have to become Buddha, first you have to be a King Siddhartha, isn't it? Once you are powerful king, then you can think of renunciation. So the whole philosophy of copyright is that you are the owner and you can decide for whom you are going to give and for whom you are going to distribute and how you receive your happiness. So there is a kind of great satisfaction provided you become the owner. That is why we must think in terms of acquisition first, then sharing. And of course, to prevent unauthorized use of the work. This is a kind of institutional or country's culture, I should say, because this is a cultural shift is required. Indians, we have a mindset, we say we believe in jugaad. Jugaad, is a concept wherein we try to do something by copying others. So, but the point is that you must give credit to the person who has invented. This has not happened. So copyright philosophy tells that whenever you write and use others, always please acknowledge and don't try to use it for the benefit of your commercial gain for the idea and the expression which others have mentioned. So that is the philosophy of it. What is protected? First one is literary works. Most of us, literary works means please don't think that it is poem and all. Literary works mean any kind of work which has knowledge is literary work. If you are making a book in physiology, it is nothing but literary work only. It's a book, it's a catalog. Musical, wherein sound recording is involved. You can create a very good, nice music, okay, and you can become copyright owner of that. And this is the, today I'm going to just tell you, sound you how as medical teachers, you can think out of the box and try to work out copyrights, which will make you a very popular teacher and very famous teacher also. You see, it's boring. No one is interested in listening to your lecture for 1 hour. But suppose you convert your lecture message into a nice music, which a person can use it through podcast, through a device, he will enjoy it, and your purpose is served. So we have not yet explored the power of music in teaching, which I want you to do it. Dramatic works, motion pictures. When we talk about community medicine, we talk about street plays, we talk about how to reach the community. The best way to reach the community is through drama, through role play. So these are the things which you try to do, how you can very nicely, innovatively create a role play and which you can show to bring changes in the behavior and changes in the impact of the society. Because after all, we know that the whole edifice of public health is based on the mindset of the people. And if you have to strike the mindset of the people, you need to look at the ways in which you can reach them. Lastly, pictorial, graphics, and sculpture. So these are all the different ways. Now coming to what is not protected. Don't think that if you give a very good title, it can be copyrighted. No. So titles, names, short phrases, and slogans cannot be copyrighted. And the work that is commonly available and there is no originality, no copyright. Your work has to be original, and it can be easily inferred. Nowadays, with your browsing the internet, you can easily find out whether somebody has already done this work or not. It has to be very catchy. I'll give my own example if I get time later. But one of the copyright which I have done is a formula of leadership development. It is called S5 formula. And S5 formula, maybe next occasions I will share with you. It deals with 5 developmental steps of how leadership can be developed. It is based and grounded in the Indian philosophy, and the same technical term I have given it in English. The first S stands for Sankalpa. Sankalpa is nothing but setting goals. The second S stands for Swadhyaya. Swadhyaya stands for self-study. The third is Satsanga. Satsanga stands for mentoring, teaching, communication. Okay, so in terms of satsang, it is a kind of a synergy which is created. The next step for leadership is seva, the work that you do. Seva is not equivalent to service. Service is a Western concept. Seva is Indian. The last concept of leadership which I have coined is samarpan. Samarpan means it is nothing but surrender. So when a leader grows, it is his job and responsibility is to see that your leadership is transferred to the next generation. So during the COVID era, one of my copyright was S5 formula for leadership, and I'm so happy that I want to share with you, and I want you to write books, write manuals, work on this formula, and to come out with different ideas and innovations in your own way. So the last step is that anything written by the government is not under copyright. Senthil has already mentioned benefits of copyright to the individual and to the organization, and he has nicely emphasized the word win-win situation. This is the bottom line. So as an individual, you can be the creator. What a prideful moments you will have, because if you see that whatever book you write, whatever formula you created, if somebody talks about it, is it not a moment of pride for you? And your thoughts get popularized in the public domain with legal rights. Need not spend money. Especially this is what Senthil has not mentioned because of time constraint. Balaji Vidyapeeth has an excellent policy of how you can copyright policy and policy for the intellectual property, wherein the university tells very clearly, university is the owner and persons becomes the author, and there will be a distribution of resources when you monetize it. Authors will get, I think 40 to 60, Senthil will clarify me, 40 to 60% of the revenue generated can be given to the authors passed on. It's a beautiful combination. And it is for individual, it is personal and professional development and copyright based incentives. Then for the institute, your department, your institute will get name and fame, and your department gets visibility, which is more important. And these are the yardsticks adopted by NAC. What is, after all, the whole regulators are, one is the National Medical Commission now, and MCI. MCI recognizes that if you have intellectual property, it gets a lot of weightage. For NAC, the research itself is 300 marks out of 1000 marks. But in addition to research, there are other parameters which will also touch the like faculty development, like outreach activities, like there are so many other issues which become other parts which are also in addition to research. And lastly, the financial returns. Now, what is the right for the owner of the copyright? He can reproduce the work, he can distribute copies to the public, and he can perform the work publicly, and he can display the copyrighted work in the public domain and prepare derivatives of the work. Derivatives are also very, very important, because nowadays, Chinmay will know it. We are debating with the idea of developing a special capacity building in medical education and research, which is untapped. And our dream is that first we start with a small book, very, very small book. And this book will evolve into electronic publication, wherein it will contain extreme all instruction materials, PowerPoints and everything, wherein you can run the course. The third thing is that we will create a few audio clips. When person at work, when he is driving, he can just listen and enjoy. And the last one is that, so it's a combination of multimedia. So book for tomorrow is not a book at all. The difference between book and the media totally disappears. So please, whenever you think of your copyright issue, think in what way I can start with maybe text, what way I can convert it to multimedia, and what way I can bring different layers of publicity to my work, so that you keep on working and keep on, your results will come to the society one by one. Now coming to education, because you are all, I think most of the Chinmay, am I right? Most of the viewers are faculty members, am I right? Hello? I presume
Yes,
that
sir.
you are all medical
Yes, sir.
faculty, and for you, examples which I am suggesting is, you can create modules, whatever subject is that. You can write books, and monographs can be copyrighted. And in fact, the books get one more secret I want to tell you. Earlier, the books were dominated by the publishers. The big publishers always, you name whatever publisher is that, he owns the copyright. But the world is changing now. Now even Dr. Chinmay tells me he has published on his own 3 books under the platform called Pothis. Am I right? Pothi.com. Chinmay, am I right?
Yes,
So
sir.
there are avenues available for publication. You can self-publish. You don't require big publishers. What you require is the graphic assistance and your own ideas. Now, best practices in teaching. Okay, you see, don't think that MCI will come in the way of innovating your own best practices. So there is no bar at all. MCI tells that after all, we are interested in competency-based medical education. So within the framework of competency-based medical education, you can change the way you conduct assessment, the way which you give feedback, the way which you teach. Post-COVID, I know that everybody has become online. The problem with us is that under the online is just like it's a vehicle. Within online framework, how you can bring different types of innovations to make it effective. That is what you have to think about it, and you can copyright it. Assessment, feedback. You see, we say feedback, not necessarily giving the feedback in the form of lectures, what you did, what you wrong. Think of design in which two people, one mentor, maybe your PG and a more mature person, I would call, because mentoring is a very important tool. I always talk about mentoring. We have not explored the power of mentoring, and use this mentoring as an opportunity to develop a system of mentoring. You can say that two students will make a pair, will go to a movie. On that movie, before going to movie, they have to meet each other, they have to book tickets, they have to meet, have some cafeteria, they have to have a cup of coffee, they have to have a gupshup, what you call gupshup. All these things will help you to come out with ideas. That is why, innovation cafe. I'm happy Senthil is calling it innovation cafe. Why? Because a cafe will inspire you, will give you new ideas. And also it is cafeteria, because cafeteria means it is a range of offerings, not just one or two items. That is why it is cafe. Then evaluation forms, questionnaires, checklists, rating scales. See, I can tell you, I can bet you, if I sit with any medical teacher for half an hour to 1 hour, I can really help him to come out with a beautiful checklist for whatever purpose. Maybe, suppose you want to know how effectively you teach, how effectively you ask questions, how effectively you reward your students. We can all convert into a standard checklist, and you can copyright it. Videos, short films, protocols. All of you are having concept of protocols. I need not tell about SOPs. Medical education has, in fact, medicine itself is a plethora of SOPs. You think of clinical care, you think of service. Everywhere we are doing SOPs. Lastly, concept maps and flowcharts. So flowcharts, you see, in physiology, there are so many complicated terms. If Chinmay teaches you Krebs cycle in the form of a traditional lecture, nobody can understand, including myself. But if he tells me a very good, nice flowchart, sir, this is what the Krebs cycle means, I will be able to understand and reproduce within 5 minutes. So please remember about the steps of copyright. I am just telling you, there are 4 steps. I'm not going to tell you the details. First step is documentation. Secondly, application filing. Third is copyright examination by the Copyright Office, Government of India, and objection removal. One thing I would like you to do today evening or latest by tomorrow, within next 24 hours, is kindly browse and visit the copyright main website or portal, and you will realize that everything is self-explanatory. You don't require, because in Balaji, we are learning, and we took help of the consulting agency for filing our copyrights. Now Senthil will tell you, you need not do the same thing. Of course, if you don't have time, if you don't have patience, you can do it if you have the luxury of money. But you can do yourself. And believe me, I learned it from Senthil how I should do myself. And for the last 6 months, I applied and got 2 copyrights, thanks to Senthil again. This is what we have done in our department. I talk about Center for Health Profession Education, wherein I teach postgraduate diploma in health professional education. Incidentally, Senthil is one of our early birds who started this course, who has been responsible for taking this course, and he often tells me, sir, it was an investment for him. So then we have started MPhil program. Unfortunately, it has been scrapped by the new national education policy. Then faculty development, FDP is an area I must strongly recommend for you to go ahead, because I know that Chinmay is the coordinator of the MEU cell. I will tell him, I will pat him, I will also, I have the opportunity and right to even pull his legs and tell him that Chinmay aisa karo, isme aisa, why don't you do this? You know, like that, when we get in touch with network with people at the different levels, we'll be able to do our own things. You can develop your own FDP policy. We did a book on effective medical communication, Dr. Parija and myself, and this book was an international publication sold by Springer. And in this book, what we have designed in a different way of putting a cartoon in the form of Comini, a character, a fictitious medical student character, who becomes the whole heroine of this book throughout. So that is how, you know, we are starting even book designing in a different way. And I'm very happy to tell you the S5 formula, I have already told about it. The ABCD service for authors of book chapters. Chinmay, with Chinmay's cooperation, I will share it with you. This is the copyright, latest copyright. Day after tomorrow, the day before yesterday, only I got the final ROC for this. This talks about the steps how you could produce a beautiful, scientific, and reader-friendly book. ABCD SER service, I have put it. A stands for assess need, B stands for briefing, C stands for contextualization. Contextualization means you bring scenario, you bring exercise, you make the reader very happy in interacting and engaging in something. After that, D stands for describing. After describing, the next step is summary of what you are told, and evaluation. Evaluation means every book chapter must have a small scope for the reader to have self-evaluation. And R stands for reference and road ahead. So SER I have converted into service, because for me it is a service to the publication community to write new books according to a particular shape which I have given. I am not going to talk about FAQs because I have taken my time. Now the floor belongs to Chinmay.
Thank you very much for crisply presenting the corporate part. I think this has initiated more and more hunger in all of us to know more detail regarding the process of copyright, patenting, and trademark. So I think in future, with the help of Dr. Senthil and you, sir, we will plan a future workshop also with hands-on training. In between, let me just check if any questions are there. So we are thankful to both
I
of
know
you,
that
sir.
Senthil is always accessible. So he's very busy person. He's accessible. That is what I have found. So both of us will be very happy, isn't it, Senthil?
Yes, sir. See, it is like not busy, sir. We are, I don't know, we are trying to do something in that process. I don't know. So we are not busy. So we will definitely tell you we are very much available. So
I think, sir, innovative way of conducting, doing workshop online, can it be copyrighted?
You can do it. Why not? See, our country, because people here, you know, I will tell you with due regard to Indians, our mindset is of leg pulling rather than encouraging, isn't it? Especially the senior and old persons like me, we should be happy if our youngsters do a better job. I am proud of you. I am proud of Senthil. Why? Because I know that you will do a better job given an opportunity there. Okay.
And I think today we also have with us Dr. Bedi, sir. Sir, please switch on your video and share your view.
Bedi has to talk because he is the leader. Dr. Bedi has to talk because he is the leader.
Because of sir's support, we can have this national webinar.
I told him yesterday, I told him that this is the beginning of a new chapter in the history of faculty development and medical education. Congratulations, Bhavnagar. Started with Bhavnagar by someone. Though Sindhi land we wanted to do at Balaji, we could not.
Sir, please share your view.
Yes.
Okay.
Thanks to Chinmay, this is a very, I heard, especially Senthil's, the kind of enthusiasm Senthil has brought to the subject. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, for a very
Thank you, sir.
small things, he has brought it in a certain way that your mind starts working in that, and you become innovation oriented. So I really like this session, and rather this should become common knowledge in all the medical teachers. I mean, many things we do on a day-to-day basis, but we don't register it. And the way, I mean, when we started MEU India, we did a definite process looking into the gap orientation. And almost all our sessions, they are designed in a way that we look at the gaps in the system and then do it. So this is another gap which is filled up. And with this, the speed of evolution in the Indian medical education is increasing with this webinar. I'm sure in the overall goal towards making the India's medical education system the best in the world, this webinar or such webinars by Dr. Chinmay and Dr. Kohli, they will be an important step.
Thank you, sir. So I think there is no more questions from participants. So we are very much thankful to Dr. Senthil, Dr. Adkoli sir, Dr. Bedi sir, our Dean, Dr. Hemant Mehta sir, for giving us an opportunity and sparing his time to bless us. So I think a long way to go ahead, as Dr. Adkoli sir says, a way forward. So we are looking for a way forward, and we'll meet again with the same topic in a workshop format. Thank you all.